G'day and welcome to another episode of Kiwi Car Life. And anyone who grew up in the 2000s as I did and watched Top Gear will know that the four performance sedans to have with a V8 engine that were all fiercely competing with each other was the C63, the ISF, the M3 and this, the Audi RS4. However, there's another car that Audi makes that's in a similar price bracket to these old RS4s that has a rather different engine, a 3-litre supercharged V6. I'm told both of these cars, especially given this one has a tune, produce a similar amount of power and they cost a very similar amount of money. So today we're going to be answering the question, do you go with the old naturally aspirated V8 or the new and improved, in theory, 3-litre supercharged V6. In terms of exterior styling, this particular RS4 in this delightful sort of grey blue colour with the Audi RS6 20-inch wheels is in my mind the best looking of that bunch. I love my ISF and I think the facelift E90 M3s look really good as well, but Audi nailed the styling with this particular car. The newer S5 though has carried on a lot of Audi's newer design language with the more aggressive sharp lines, the typical 19-inch wheels with those sort of flowing blades that go around the outside, and with this one being the S5 or sort of the more liftback coupe style, it is a very nice looking car as well. The engines fitted to these cars make a fairly similar amount of power, but they go about it in very different ways. Starting here with the S5, it has a 3-litre supercharged V6. From factory, it makes 240 kilowatt or 330 horsepower and 440 newton meters. It's paired up with a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, and naturally with it being an Audi, it's got quattro 4-wheel drive. The RS4 on the other hand has a 4.2 litre naturally aspirated V8 that is found in a number of different Audi products in various different formats. This particular one is the most powerful they ever made. It makes 414 horsepower or 309 kilowatt and 430 newton meters. So the torque's pretty similar. The power in this one from factory is a little bit down naturally. However, this one has had an exhaust and a stage 1 tune put on it that tunes the engine and the gearbox. So now it's making around about the same power at least as the 4.2 litre V8 over here. The RS4 just has a Miltech exhaust. While the exterior of the RS4 in my opinion looks absolutely stunning, the interior just looks like an A4 with an 8,000 RPM redline. But at least it is very comfortable and is generally surprisingly well built. The steering wheel feels nice, the gauges do look cool in a sort of dated kind of way, but my favourite part about it is the transmission feel. It is very different to anything I'm used to. I'm used to obviously Hondas. The clutch is light, the throttle is easy to use, and as you're going to see when I drive it, you know, for a high performance V8 sedan with a manual gearbox, it's not hard to drive at all. The S5's interior, on the other hand, is a vast improvement. The new backlit grey gauges, in my opinion, look absolutely fantastic. The steering wheel is also a massive improvement. And then, of course, it has a few more features as well. You've got, now you've got an electric park brake, you've got keyless entry, you've got a infotainment system up here, which has your reverse camera and all that kind of stuff. And overall, it's just, in my opinion, a nicer built, newer, more modern, nicer materials, more features interior. So if that kind of stuff's important to you, then going for the S5 will make a lot of sense. Driving the Audi RS4. My word, this is good. The engine sounds heavenly, especially with this Miltech. Listen to that. And man, it is no slouch. For only a 4.2, it's not an absolutely enormous engine, but it goes like a scolded ape, man. Listen to that. What I love above all else is this transmission. This is the first of that bunch of 4 that I mentioned at the start that has a proper manual. The ISF's obviously an 8-speed auto, the BMW that I drove and the Mercedes were both 7-speed autos, but this with a proper old-fashioned 6-speed manual and 3 pedals. Oh, without question, one of the most glorious sedans I have ever driven in my life. These things are going up in value for a reason. Buy one. Oh my, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. I think I'm going to say it. This is the best car I think I've ever driven. Well, I have to admit, the RS4 set a pretty high bar for this thing to jump over. And straight away, I noticed some fundamental differences. I mean, for starters, it's automatic, so now I have nothing to do with my left foot, which I'm kind of still getting used to again. And the engine obviously has quite a different tone. It's a lot smoother, a lot more shrill, as opposed to that burbly V8 sound that I just love in the RS4. However, the supercharged V6. Listen to the upshift farts. Oh my! Wow, it sounds a bit 350Z, I have to admit, but that's quite something. I was kind of expecting to not really like this, because I was like, the RS4 is just so good, how can this thing possibly be any better? But oh my word! I think what this has fundamentally highlighted is that regardless of what you're into, I haven't driven too many Audis. I've been, I suppose, more of a BMW fan because I haven't really liked the way all-wheel drive cars drive, and most Audis tend to be automatic. The RS4 is kind of the one oddball that they did with the manual, but pretty much all of them since have been either dual clutch or ZF8. But man, Audi sure knows how to make a cracking car, man. I kind of can't really choose between these, to be honest. They are both so good in kind of their own unique special way that, oh boy, if you want a fast Audi, these are the two to have, man. So there we go. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.